here we are on another snow day. We're trying to stay busy over here, and here's something you can do at home in order to prepare yourself for our next math unit. Our next math unit is measurement. So head into your kitchen and open up your fridge and pull out some of the containers. One of the things we're going to be measuring is liquid volume, and that's how much space does the liquid take up in a container. And so I just want you to start to notice what are some ways to measure liquid volume. Looking at this Coke can, this has 7.5 fluid ounces or 222 milliliters of liquid volume. That means when this is full of Coke, there are 7.5 fluid ounces of Coke in there. This is a measuring cup, and so when it's full, it has 1 cup of liquid in it. This maple syrup is 1 quart, or also 32 fluid ounces. This is 1.25 liters, and of course this is a gallon. So when these containers are full, that's how much liquid they carry. And then you can start to think which is bigger and which is smaller. A fluid ounce is going to be pretty small because there's 7.5 of them in here. A cup is also not very much. A quart gets a little bit more. This might even be similar to this. And then we've got a gallon of milk. And if your containers are empty, you can start to pour and see, well, how many cups can fit into this? And how many of these can go in, of the liter, 1.25 liters can go into the milk. But if your containers aren't empty, please don't empty them out. Your grown-up will get mad. So just kind of explore, what kind of units do you notice on your liquids inside of your fridge? Another thing we're going to be measuring is weight. And one of the things you can do is you can go to your pantry or your cupboards and pull out some things that aren't liquid. So these would be more solid things. And you can read those labels so that this loaf of bread has a net weight of 18 ounces or 1 pound, 2 ounces. Now, if you remember, my liquid also had ounces, but that was fluid ounces. So we measure weight in ounces, but we measure how much liquid fits in a container in how much liquid fits in a container in fluid ounces and weight in ounces. This butter container, if I look at that, this butter container has 15 ounces or 425 grams. So I could measure the weight in ounces or grams. My fruit that I got at Meijer is measured in pounds. It's 92/100ths pound or 0.92. And my cereal has a net weight down at the bottom, usually there it is, 18.7 ounces or 1 pound. And so you can start to look at those labels and once again start to think, which is more, ounces or pounds? You can even ask your parents what you weighed when you were born. Chances are you were given your weight in pounds and ounces. So Franco, when he was born, he weighed 4 pounds, 10 ounces. And the reason why they did ounces is because he was so teeny that every little bit counted. So he weighed 4 pounds, but then he had that extra 10 ounces and they counted that because when you're a baby, you're so tiny. You can ask your grown-up what you weighed. So check out your kitchen, look at your solids, see how they're measured. Look at your liquids and see how they're measured and compare those. And then pause this video while you do that. And then you can unpause it and you can see what the last thing is that we're going to measure. So pause your video now. The last thing, hopefully you were able to dig in your pantry and in your kitchen and you were able to find some of those things. The last thing that we're going to measure in this unit is length, or how tall or long something is. So now you might have to go digging in your dad's toolbox and you might have to find a tape measure, and you can see how to measure how long is something with a tape measure. And so you can pull that tape measure out and you can start to say, okay, you'll notice that my tape measure is in inches, it's in centimeters, and even those little itty bitty lines are millimeters. So you can start to think about how to measure. And so you want to measure? It's kind of sticky because it was in Daddy's tool shed. And then I went into my sewing room and I pulled out just this ruler. Your mom or dad, if they have a sewing room, they might have some rulers in there. We didn't have any actual rulers, but this right here can certainly be used to measure. There's 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, so that you can start to explore and you can see what's more, inches, centimeters, what's more, feet, or maybe you'll even find something with yards on it, and you can start to explore and measure some of the things in your house. Have fun with that today. so you'll be prepared for the next unit, and maybe it'll even give you something to do. Happy snow day, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow.